Hi there, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making some Christmas treats that do not require any baking. So we're going to be making 4 no-bake Christmas treats, which are awesome, of course. Last year I did share some cookie recipes. I will link that below if you're interested in that one as well. But let's go ahead and get started and make these delicious treats. First up today, we're going to make some Christmas Oreo balls, and these Oreo balls are always a hit. This year, my husband took them to work and he said they were a huge hit there as well. So to get started with these, I am taking 1 family size pack of Oreos. I am just using the regular and not the double stuffed ones. I have never tried the double stuffed ones in this recipe before. I just always use the regular ones. I'm just adding those into my blender until they are nice fine crumbs. Once blended, just add them into a nice big bowl. Next, I'm adding in 1 softened block of cream cheese. You don't want this cream cheese to be warm, but you also don't want it to be freezing cold. So let it sit out on your countertop for at least an hour or 2 to let it soften up a bit. Once that is all mixed together and you can no longer see any of the white from the cream cheese, stick that in your freezer for about 15 minutes. Now I'm just going to start rolling those into about 1-inch sized little balls and then just add them onto this baking sheet lined with some parchment paper. Now these are going back into the freezer for an additional 15 minutes to harden up just a little bit before we start dipping them in the chocolate. In these 2 bowls, the first one that is white is just some vanilla almond bark. It's about half of a block. And then I also have chocolate over here. That's 1 cup of semi-sweet melted chocolate chips. Melt those slowly in your microwave in 30-second intervals, mixing each time you take it out of the microwave until it's fully melted. Dipping the Oreo balls in here is very simple. You just drop them in, cover them with the chocolate, and then shake off as much excess as you possibly can. The only thing when you make these is you have to add your toppings pretty quickly. I would only do 2 or 3 at a time and then add your toppings just because they will harden pretty quickly. So for these first few, I just took some crushed Oreo and I added that to the tops of those. I also did some with just some little round colorful sprinkles. Now dipping it into the almond bark, same thing. I'm only going to do a couple at a time and add the toppings. I also crushed up a little bit of candy cane to add to these white ones. I really thought that would be cute. Whether you use the white almond bark or the chocolate, after you cover them, take the opposite chocolate and then drizzle that over the top and it'll look really cool as well. After covering several of those with the white almond bark, I decided to change it up a little bit and add some green food coloring into the white, just so I could have some colorful ones as well. And then I just added some more of the toppings that I had to these ones. I had some red sprinkles. I also found some red candy melt in the cabinet, so I went ahead and melted that down and added that to a couple as well. Here's what they'll look like when they are all done. You'll just want to let them sit for about 30 minutes to completely harden up and then you can eat them. I like to store them in the refrigerator though, that way they stay nice and hard. These are so festive, so colorful, and so fun. One of my favorite treats to make, and honestly, everybody always loves them. Next up, we are making some Christmas crack. This is something I make every single year, and if I don't make it, my family is always so upset. So to begin, I am taking half a block of almond bark and just melting that in the microwave in 30-second intervals until it has fully melted, mixing each time it comes out of the microwave. Then I'm adding in 1 bag of this Chester's butter flavored puff corn. You'll want to add that right into the same container with almond bark, and make sure you're using a container that is very large, that does have a lid, because you're going to want to shake this until it is all covered with that almond bark. After shaking that up, I'm just going to add this whole thing over onto some parchment paper and just spread it out a little bit until it's in a nice single layer. Try not to spread it out too far though, you want to keep it all together, that way when you add your sprinkles, it's all going on top of the Christmas crack. Typically, I like to use the red and green sugar sprinkles. This is what they look like right here. These are my favorite to add over the top, but honestly, you can add any type of sprinkles that you want to, or you can completely skip the sprinkles, but the sprinkles definitely make this more festive. This is what it looks like when it's all done. You'll just want to let it harden up for about 30 minutes afterwards, and then you can break it off in little pieces or bigger chunks. It is so good. Now we're going to make these peanut butter bars, and this was a new recipe for me, so I will link the original recipe down below for you. Into this large bowl, I am adding 2 cups of crushed graham crackers, 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, 1 cup of creamy peanut butter, and 1 cup of melted butter, which is 2 whole sticks of butter. Very carefully, I'm just going to get this all mixed together until it is nicely combined. Now into this 9x13 casserole dish, I'm going to spray this down very well with some nonstick spray. You will want to dump that entire bowl in here and spread it around in the bottom of the dish as evenly as you possibly can. Into a medium-sized bowl, I'm adding 1.5 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips along with 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter. This is going into the microwave in 30-second intervals. You'll want to mix each time it comes out of the microwave until it is nice and smooth. This is just going to get poured over top of what's already in the casserole dish. And make sure that you spread that out as evenly as you can, covering all of that graham cracker mixture. This went to my refrigerator for about an hour to finish setting up, and when you take it out of the fridge, this is super easy to cut through. I was using a butter knife and it just glides right through. You can cut this into as many pieces as you want there to be, but honestly, I would give this recipe an 8 out of 10. It's a little different from the peanut butter bars that I've had before. I like how this one is a little bit more crunchy than the one that I've had before. It's definitely different than what I'm used to, but I really enjoyed these ones. So if you like a little bit of crunch in your peanut butter, this is really good. And last, of course, we are making these Copycat 3 Musketeers. This is something I have never made before, so again, I will link the recipe down below for you. Into this large bowl, I'm adding in 2 bags of chocolate chips. These are going into the microwave to start for about a minute, and then as you can see, they are just a little bit melted, so I'm going to give it a really good stir together, and then this is going back into the microwave in 30-second intervals, mixing each time until it is nice and smooth. Once the chocolate is smooth, you'll want to let it sit for about 20 to 25 minutes until it is about room temperature before adding in this whipped topping. Be sure to set your whip topping out a little bit before, that way it can completely thaw out because you don't want to be mixing it in frozen. Go ahead and get this mixed together. It is going to thicken up quite a bit. That's perfectly fine. Once you get that mixed up, we are going to add it over into a little baking dish. This is just an 8x8 dish that I lined with some parchment paper. You'll definitely want to make sure that you line it with some parchment paper or aluminum foil, just because you're going to want to take this out and cut it up eventually. So having that parchment paper in the bottom makes it 10 times easier to get it out of the container. Once I got that all in there, I did spread that around. It will be a little bit hard to spread around, but once you get it spread out as evenly as you can, stick this in your freezer for about 20 minutes. Here it is coming out of the freezer. It is nice and hard now. You'll want to just dump it out onto your clean surface, remove the parchment paper, and then you're going to cut this up into little tiny squares. You should be able to get 36 squares out of this entire thing. So I just went ahead and cut it down the center. And then once I had 2 separate pieces, I cut each one of those into 3 more longer pieces. And then each one of those longer pieces was cut into 6 squares. Once I get those cut up, I'm adding them over onto a baking sheet with parchment paper, and these are going to go back into the freezer for another 20 minutes to harden up again. Right before you take them out of the freezer, you're going to want to take 2 packages of this Ghirardelli dark chocolate wafers. Each bag is about 10 ounces of chocolate. The recipe calls for, I think, 24 or 23 ounces. These 2 packages were plenty of chocolate. I had plenty left over, so don't worry about getting that much chocolate. Just like I did with all the other chocolate in this video, I added it into the microwave for about 30 seconds, melted it, and then stirred it, and then kept microwaving for 30 seconds each time until it was completely melted through. Just like with the Oreo balls, this is kind of the same method. You're just going to want to dip those in there, shake off as much of the excess chocolate as you possibly can, and then add them back onto the wax paper. Now you can leave these like this, or you can top them with sprinkles like the Oreo balls, but what I decided to do, just so I wouldn't waste very much of this chocolate, was just take some of it and drizzle it over the top of all of these just to add some texture. Here's what they look like in the end. I did just let those harden up for about an hour before I touched them again. On the recipe, I believe it says these are best kept in the fridge or freezer, so keep that in mind, but I left them out for quite a while anyways, and they seem to do okay. If I'm being honest, I don't really like Three Musketeers that much, but I actually really enjoy these. But they are super rich, so if you don't like very rich treats, then you may not like these. But I really enjoyed these ones, and my husband did as well. Don't forget to leave me a flower down in the comments below if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate your time, and I will see you guys back here on Sunday with a new video.